It could be like, this camera's facing down. So look on the screen, you can see where it is.
I got a picture of everybody.
Hey guys, when you hear the ding dong, when he comes on, it sounds sort of like that. Maybe someone else can do a better ding ding. But anyway, when we hear that, I'll go 1, 2, 3, and then we'll say congratulations and thank you so much. Okay? So let's try it again. Congratulations and thank you so much. And then we'll go woo or something like that. which we all should know. He's married to the lovely, beautiful Amber Rourke. And they just had their second beautiful baby girl. Yay!
He said just a second.
Oh, is it me?
He's going to bring the baby out and say hi.
Let's help you guys. Oh, we thought you were going to bring the baby.
No.
But anyway, so a little bit about Damon is that he has been awesome to me. He is not in my upline, but when some chaos happened, he kicked my butt into gear, and anytime that I become sort of a whiny baby, he just is right there to say, nope, not going to happen, and he helps no matter what. He is going to bring you some awesome information today, not tonight. So everybody welcome Damon!
Thank you guys very much. Thank you very much, Bobbie. In Bobbie, or in my defense, when I do kick Bobbie's butt, she sends me a text that says, "Please kick my butt." So it's not something that I just regularly do. That's something that I actually enjoy giving feedback on. So I apologize, guys. I had revised the slideshow a little bit on my other computer, so of course, right, when you're zooming in and just have a kid, you're not thinking clearly. But, let me see. So, I'm excited to be here with you guys, and I will, I'll probably go back and forth in between the PowerPoint. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Perfect, this is a great setup. Let's see if this makes a difference. Okay. So, how are you guys doing?
Good.
I really am excited to be here, and it's funny. With our first daughter, with Hattie, I mean, I was shut down the week before just in case Amber went into labor, and then we were shut down the week after. I'm sorry, several weeks after, and I couldn't think, I couldn't do anything, and we went to the doctor on Thursday, and the doctor was like, "Okay, yeah, we're gonna induce, we gotta get this going." We're like, "Cool, no problem, let's go do it." As we're checking in, I was on a three-way call. I was texting about product questions and updating the family at the same time in the delivery room. And then we get to the recovery room. It was like I was doing live trainings. And then as I went to go get the baby carrier, the baby seat yesterday for us to check out, I had to do a live video update from my car. So it's just funny as you experience more and more, as you go through something once, and then you just have faith that things are going to change. I think that's one thing that I'm going to hit on today is it's just kind of that fear of the unknown, or what experience can actually give to you. And obviously I'm going to use the experience of just having a baby because that is fresh on my mind. We were going through labor, as we're in the hospital recovering, when we came home, I mean, for anybody that's had a kid, that first night home it's just not going to be fun. Yes, we're grateful she's here. I'm so grateful everybody's safe, but it's like the next, I don't know, 2 or 3 months are done. You know what I mean? They're we're not going to do anything. I'm going to walk around on 3.5, 4 hours of sleep on the reg. It's not going to be fun, but I know eventually that's going to be over, and I know the payoff is absolutely going to be worth it, right? The payoff is absolutely going to be worth it. So kind of relating that to Nira, I think we're in a really, really special place right now, and I can't see everybody, but how many people have been? I just want to get a feel for the crowd. How many people this is their first regional? Do we have any hands raised, Bobbie?
1, 2.
Okay, good. Welcome, everyone. That's awesome. How many people have been in Nerium over a year?
Everybody else. of the room.
Okay, perfect, good. So for you people that are, this is your first regional. You might have heard about our conference in Las Vegas. I guess you might have even been there. You might have been at our conference in Las Vegas. I've been in Near for 7 years. My father-in-law is our CEO and founder. My wife is our chief marketing officer and co-founder. We were engaged. My wife and I went to high school together. We were engaged 6 months before Near launched, and we got married 6 months after Near launched. Our save the dates went out with the wrong date. Our wedding invitations went out with the wrong address. But our new brand partner kits were on point. So I've been in Near again for 7 years. And when I say I've been in it for 7 years, I don't mean it's something I've been working for 7 years. I mean breakfast, lunch, dinner, Thanksgiving, Easter, Christmas. I make the joke that, oh, perfect. Thank you. That's a fancy room. That's awesome. I make the joke that Jesus gets about 5 minutes at Christmas and the Nereum gets the rest. Right? Now with the kids, Jesus gets about probably 5 minutes, and then we get 55 minutes for opening presents, and then Nereum will get the rest. It's more of a dark joke, more of a sarcastic joke, but it is. We think, eat, sleep, pray, Nereum. I mean, if you have a family member that is tired of you talking about Nereum, bring them to our house and they won't wait to get back, because it is. It's ingrained. It's a part of our family. You guys are a part of our family. The outpouring of love that we got when Hattie was born 2 years ago, when Harley was born 2 days ago, it was absolutely. It's so much love. I had somebody from high school reach out. I had a really, really good friend. They love us and they care for us, and they were just kind of making a joke, be like, I've never seen so many random people share a new baby picture. I was like, well, they're not random. Like, you don't understand. Like, we spend so much time thinking and praying about the Nereum family that's the way we consider it. It's not random to us. It is. We've intentionally built this culture from the very beginning, and so for the new people, if I say anything that offends or blows you out of the water or overwhelms you, please. First of all, know that it's not my intention. Anybody can do this business. Anybody can work this business. And you can put as much time as you want into it. And I'm going to use the word success a lot. I do not mean quit your job, buy a beach house, be making millions and millions of dollars successful. I mean whatever you define success as. Okay, so whatever you define success as, that's the way I'm using it. Yes, I think it's such a gift to have freedom of time. I really do. I think that's the biggest thing that Nereum is giving me. It's giving me freedom of choice or recognition of choice and freedom of time are the two biggest things that Nereum has given me, knowing that I have the choice. My actions are my choices. Right? That's one of the biggest things that and then also just the result of those actions has led to freedom of time. Freedom of debt, freedom of time, how I spend my time, how I value my time. But if I use the word like success or anything that feels overwhelming, please know that it's how you define success. And people define success differently. Not everybody defines success as money. I define success as time and choices. I do know people that define success as money. That's fine. I know people that define success as how much they can give back. However you define it. I just think it's the bigger thing, if you do feel any pressure, is to find that definition. Is to find your purpose. Is to find, there's a saying that the two most important days you have are the day you were born and the day you find out why. And so that's your purpose. And so that's how I think we should define success around our purpose, around our purpose. So if I do say anything that blows anybody out of the water, please know I'm operating on about 3.5 hours of sleep for the past 2 nights. So maybe you can show a little grace there. But also, it is not my intention. I think this is such a beautiful business, in a beautiful business model that we have built that you can attain whatever you want. But at a certain point, it's up to you to define what success means to you. If you let the world define what success means to you, you're going to be very, very unhappy, whether you're with Miriam or not. Right? Whether you're involved with Miriam or not, that's outside of Miriam. If you really define success by the number of Instagram likes or the number of likes you get on a post, guys, that's going to be a very, very, very empty life. Unless that's what motivates you and fuels you to have a better life. I guess I'm telling you guys not to judge. I'm here judging if you judge success by my likes on a photo. If that's what leads you to help more people, if that's what leads you to if that's what leads you to help more people, if that's what leads you to help your family, if that's what leads you to help more to build a better life for you, and more importantly, the generations that are coming after you, then by all means, go for the likes on Facebook. Right? Go for the likes on Facebook. Because for the longest time, I struggled with, is Bobbie still in the room? Did she pop out?
She stepped out.
I just called her out. Did she go over any slides?
Yeah.
What did she go over?
Why? And prospecting.
Prospecting. Okay. Why and prospecting, basically?
Yeah.
Okay, perfectly. Thank you, guys. And I gotta say, Mike and Bobbie, thank you so much for setting all this up and being so organized, because I even gave Bobbie the caveat when she asked me to do this months ago. It was like, we're going to have a kid at some point. And, as long as it's not the day before the regional or the morning of or the night before, I will be there. And they have been so organized and so, I don't know the right word, just such a blessing in their grace and understanding of the situation, as far as being like, hey, we know you don't know anything. Bobbie took notes for me when we were brainstorming on a phone call when I was driving back from a market party on Wednesday, and sent me those notes. I mean, to me, that's just phenomenal and a great representation of the Miriam family and the love that surrounds it. But guys, with the why, and Bobbie may have went over this because I get a lot of my trainings from her as well. Your why is your why. It doesn't have to be some big motivation if that's not what's going to motivate you. For the longest time, I struggled with wanting to, debt, with paying off my debt was my motivation. It was my absolute motivation. I had $40,000 in student loans and credit card debt, and I just wanted to pay it off. Anybody who's ever experienced debt or felt debt, I just didn't want that pressure. And it's not a good kind of pressure, like pressure makes diamonds. It's like a bad kind of pressure that follows you around and pushes you down. I feel like it would influence every choice that I had, because I couldn't make decisions based on what I wanted to do or what I felt I was being led to do. I had to make decisions based on financial decisions. And so that was one of the things that when I say Miriam gave me the freedom of choice, it helped me realize the power that my choices do have. It's also helped me realize that when I got rid of that debt, when Miriam started paying for my debt, when it started covering my monthly bills, right, my monthly debt income. I'm not talking about rent and electric and internet and all that. I'm literally talking about just to pay down my credit card bills and to pay down my student loans. When my commission from Miriam started covering that, that's when I felt like I really had options and I could start even looking for other jobs. There's certain points when I wasn't happy with my job. It was almost like a stress relief to go and look at other jobs, to go and look around and see what's out there. But I didn't have the stress of looking at the salary first. I had the stress of looking at the company first, looking at the position first, and then I could look at the salary, because as a single guy, I had a very, very low overhead, if that makes sense. So I think that's where the beauty of our business model comes in, is that you can build this on the side, and it's going to give you choices. In my family, we used to play a game called, we just called it the lottery game. It was fun. My parents would put numbers on pennies, and they would put the pennies in a hat, and we'd do this big thing on Friday nights, and everybody would draw a number, and those were the numbers we would play for the lottery. It was fantastic. It was a great exercise in dreaming. How would you spend it? What would you do with that money? And so I think on one hand, a phenomenal exercise on imagination, phenomenal exercise, something fun to do with kids, and get them to dream and think about the possibilities. On the other hand, the how are you going to get it, right? Because there's the dream, and then there's the how, and you bridge that, and that's where you get that dream. The how you're going to get it was not a good exercise, because how you're going to get it is you put some numbers on a paper and pray that you're one out of, I don't know what the odds are, but you're one out of a million that's going to win those numbers, and that's how you're going to achieve your dreams. Now, I know my parents, that wasn't the goal of, we were just having fun, but I think the long term, everything you do is going to have that long-term effect. For the longest time, I thought the way I was going to be successful was getting enough money to buy stocks, and hopefully I bought a stock that was low enough and went high enough, and that's how I would be successful. Or, winning the lottery. Or, I don't know how, those are really the two things that I thought was how people made money. And that is just not the truth, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But as far as perseverance goes, and just really making sure that you're going to be successful. So, again, I do have to put that caveat out there one more time. If I don't want to say offend. If I offend anybody, I apologize. But if I overwhelm anybody, please know that's not my intention at all by this. It is. I have a very, very clear vision of where Nearham's going. I have a very clear vision of how we're going to get there. I have a very clear vision of how anyone can get where they want to go with Nearham. But it is going to take action. It is going to take work. And so I think that the most important piece of this regional is not the training. It's not the fellowship that we get to experience while we're here. It's what you do with the information when you leave. This training alone will not make you successful. It will not help you achieve your dreams. What you do with it when you leave will. The actions, the activities that you take when you leave here is absolutely what will make you successful. And then one other tip that I have for taking notes. First of all, if you're not taking notes, we'll ask somebody around you for a piece of paper and a pen. If you are taking notes, this is how I take notes. I draw a line down the middle of the page. On the left-hand side of the page, I'll take notes over what's being trained on. I'll take notes over the slides. I'll take notes over what the speaker says. I'll take those notes that are being trained on. On the right-hand side, I take notes over what it means to me and how I'm going to apply it to my business. I have never left a training and not had a list of things that I want to do, and more importantly, people that I want to follow up with or talk to about Nearham. Now we have the prospecting system. We have so many things that came out of conference, but I do encourage you that if you ever struggle with that, because the way I used to do it is I would just take notes, all on one page, and then I'd write to do, or I'd just make a note real quick about what I wanted to do with the information. Having that separation, I think, is really important because hopefully you can see me training, and my training will change, but my information won't. The slides are not going to change. You'll change. You will change. The information that you're exposed to will not change, but you will change in that process, and you'll grow. And then all of a sudden, somebody will come in and say something that will light your world on fire that your either workout partner or your upline has been telling you for 3 years. And you'll go to them and be like, this is amazing. This is amazing. I know you told me this 3 years ago, but I finally get it. It's not the trainer that does that. It's you. It's your growth. It's your attitude. It's the change in attitude. And so I just think taking those notes on the right-hand side about what you're going to do over the next 30 days between now and the next regional is really important, because this really is, it's taking the growth mindset. If you guys have heard about the growth mindset, and I'll talk about it a few times, but it's having, instead of focusing on the problems, focus on how you can fix them. Focus on the solution. Be solution-oriented. We're entrepreneurs here. We're business builders here. We're people that are coming together to do something that we want to get done, and not just sit around complaining about what we want to change. That's why I try to say yes to as many Nearham events as I can, because being in this atmosphere, I'd rather be there in person to feel the energy and talk to you guys before and after the event. But I'll walk away from this training right now jacked up, because who else would you want to hang out with? Who else would you want to spend time with? People that have made a decision that want to work for something better, believe they can do it, and that are trying to develop the perseverance to grow into the person that they want to be, instead of on a Saturday morning sitting around and maybe even sitting around and not doing that. Right? What's the opposite of what you're doing right now? Not doing it. Not being there is the exact opposite of saying, I'm sorry my kid has a soccer game. I'm sorry it's raining. I'm sorry it's summertime. I'm sorry school starts next week. I can't make it because school starts on Wednesday. Now I know, and anybody who's not there because of that, I'm not trying to make fun of or make anybody feel bad that's not there. But it always surprises me somebody joins an area for their family, but can't come to a training because of their family. I never understood it when I'm making the decision to, like my wife started going into labor on Monday. She started having labor pains and contractions on Monday. On Wednesday, I was scheduled to do the Fort Worth Market Party, which is about an hour and a half away. So I was scheduled to do the Fort Worth Market Party, but and I kind of knew she was going to go to labor Thursday, or there was a chance. I kept checking my phone. But guys, I mean, first of all, I wouldn't want to be anyplace else, but I do this so that I can be in the delivery room. Like I do this so that I didn't have to go back to work. So we had the baby Thursday. I didn't have to go back to work on Friday. And I probably wouldn't have to if I was in corporate America, but I don't have to worry about what I'm going to do Monday. I'm going to, I'll tell you what I'm going to do Monday, starting at midnight on Monday morning, 12:01 Monday morning. I'm going to be, I'll probably be just going to bed. I'll be up at 3:30 to bring the baby to Amber so she can hopefully get enough sleep so she can recover from actually giving birth. But I know what I'm doing Monday morning, and it's taking care of my family, but I'm only able to do that because on Wednesday I was willing to go to a trap for working all day and being stressed about having this next kid coming in, how we're going to deal with it. I drove 3 hours round trip for an hour and a half of presenting and talking. You guys, it's for me, I don't think about why I can't go do things, why I can't build my business, why I can't do my dreams or work to accomplish my dreams. I think about, what I'm doing it for. It is for those, before we had this kid, it was for those Monday mornings when I used to hate Monday mornings. But now Monday mornings I can wake up, I can go to the gym, and I can be back to get my daughter out of bed and then hang out with her. Before my day starts, I can hang out with her and spend time with her. I can hang out with her at 5 or 5:30. I have the power, the freedom to manipulate my schedule around her. But what I have done over the last 7 years is I haven't missed a monthly event. Like I have not missed a monthly. The month that my first daughter was born, I missed a monthly event, and I promised myself I'd never do it again. So in 7 years, on August 29th, it'll be 7 years. In 7 years, I have not missed a monthly event, right? And now looking back, is it worth it? Absolutely. Was there a lot of sacrifice that came along the way? Yes, of course there was. Of course. Going to a monthly regional the month before we got married, the week before we got married, just so I could get in my monthly training because I wasn't going to make it because of our honeymoon, the next one. Yes, it's worth it. Did it take sacrifice? Yes. Did I like to spend the money on flying someplace to go to a regional? No. But you do it because that's the system. And so I encourage you guys when you go over your why, when you're establishing your why, like Bobbie did with you earlier, make it something that's going to push you through the tough times. Make it something that you can fall back on. Make it something that's actually going to motivate you. When somebody says no, it hurts. Go back to your why, move on. When you don't want to go to a monthly regional, go back to your why, move on. When you have a wedding to go to on Saturday, and you're not going to miss that wedding. The wedding starts at 3 o'clock. You still show up to the monthly regional from 10 to 1. Rush home, get ready, go to the wedding. Right? Do what you got to do when you're up late with your kid on Friday night until 2 or 3 a.m. and you still have that monthly regional to go to on Saturday. Go to the monthly regional. Show up. You'll be so much happier that you did as opposed to didn't. Those of you that made that sacrifice, that made a bigger than average sacrifice to be here this morning, you're going to walk away happier that you did, more satisfied and more joyful that you actually did something for your future and your family and your dreams rather than didn't. Right? I've never walked away from a regional like, I wish I didn't go. I've never looked back at a regional in the past 7 years and said, I wish I would have done that. Even regionals where I don't really want to be there, show up at 9:59, and as soon as the speaker's kind of wrapping up, like you're already packing your things and you're at the door. you're still there. I'm still happy that I went during those moments because it leads to what we have now, which is really that freedom. So I encourage you guys, just go through that. Find something that's going to motivate you to push through those sacrifices, to persevere over those challenges, because that's all they are, is challenges. That is all they are. And when you give in to a challenge, you lose. When you persevere over a challenge, you win. You're not going to win 100% of the time. You're not going to lose 100% of the time. But try to win more than you lose. That's where you know you have a good why. There's a book, and then I even saw a quote from a long time ago, and apologize, I can't remember what it is, but it's Sometimes You Win. John Maxwell has a book called Sometimes You Win. John Maxwell's book is Sometimes You Win, Sometimes You Grow. And then I saw a really, really good quote from somebody. It was sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. That's the way I look at Miriam, and that's the way I look at prospecting. That's the way I look at all these activities, going to a regional, presenting at a regional, going to a conference, presenting at a conference, growing a team, working with a team. Sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. If you're out there making exposures and you don't ever review or reflect on what you could have done differently, you lose. Like you truly lose. Because sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. If you don't learn from the things that don't go well, if you don't learn from the things that you're doing wrong or that you can grow in, yes, you lose. You absolutely lose. So then it is a win-lose. But if you look at losing as growth, if you look at losing as learning, guys, that's when you become unstoppable. That's when you're really going to see leap and bounce. When you don't show up to a regional and look back and say, man, I really wish I was going to that regional, and it comes around the next month and you don't go, you lose. You absolutely lose. If you've done network marketing before and you wish you would have been more consistent, you wish you would have gone to training, you wish you would have listened to your upline, you wish you would have done whatever, you wish you would have followed the system more, and you're not doing it here, you lose. Because you didn't learn from your past mistakes. You didn't learn from things that you wanted to do differently. I will forever be grateful to Miriam for many reasons, of course, but I get to work I started when I was 27. And for some of you go through we all go through different growth phases, but I think that 25 to 35-year-old range, maybe especially for a male, but probably for everybody, it's a big growth time, right? It's a big growth time of a lot of people get married, a lot of people have second jobs. Usually there's, with the economy, usually there's a crash sometime between that 10-year period of your life. You're going to see ups, you're going to see downs, you're going to experience real life. I think for me, one of the best things that I ever got was I worked with a lot of people that were in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, even 70s, and they would give me wisdom, they would give me advice, and I would listen to it. And a lot of it was, they were very, very open. We're all in personal development, so they were very open with giving advice to a soon-to-be married 27-year-old knucklehead. And one of the best things that I learned from all that is to take action now, because you're going to wish it was different in 5 or 10 years, right? We're going to go over goals. Bobbie, you didn't go over goals, did you?
A little bit, but go ahead.
Okay. We're going to go over goals. I do want to go over goals a little bit. One of the big things that I have been talking about since conference is a 5-year vision statement. So I have a vision statement. It still motivates me. I need to update it because in there I have a son and not a daughter. We had a son first, so this is how old it is. I had a son first, and then we had a daughter. And my oldest daughter is 2 years old. So I do need to update it, but it still motivates me. I still have that very, very clear vision in there. But this is what, at the conference, I started thinking about this. When you're doing a 5-year vision statement, right, it's supposed to be what your dream life looks like in 5 years. Right? You can't win the lottery. You can't buy stock really low and sell really high, unless you want to be a stockbroker. Okay, unless you want to learn stocks, or the market, or whatever you call somebody who plays the stock market. You can't have that home run, right? You have to work for something. You have to build for something. You have to plan for something. But what does your dream life look like? And almost out of the financial side, what does your dream life look like? And with our daughter coming up, this is what made me think about it. 5 years ago, I didn't plan on having 2 daughters. I wouldn't trade it for the world. Would not trade it for the world. 5 years ago, I wouldn't. We've had some just, I guess, hardships with or some sticky situations with some business partners. I would never write that in my 5-year statement. There's things we could have done differently, but I'd never plan on that. Right? My point is, if you went back 5 years ago from today, would today be your perfect day? A lot of us know. Right? A lot of us, and this is different. I am very, very grateful for where, I think everybody should be grateful. You're here, you're alive, you're in the, you have a business model. Talking to everybody in this room, you have a business model that will help you achieve your dreams. We live in the greatest country in the world where we have opportunity to do that. I'm very, very grateful for all that. But what would you change about the last 5 years? What would you do differently? Now apply that to the next 5 years and make the changes. Right? Make the actual changes, because a lot of us want to change. Like, you look back and I would be in such better shape than I was 5 years ago. I would have been I would have been more intentionally a better dad, a better husband, a better leader, a better grandparent than I would have 5 years ago. But why not change it now? Because I don't want to look back in 5 more years and say, I even did a training on it, I didn't do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even, I'm trying to raise awareness for other people, and I didn't even do it. I don't personally want to be in that situation, and I don't think anybody does. But that's why a 5-year vision statement is so important. That's why it's important to think about what you want your life to look like over the next 5 years. And then we take that and we put it into yearly goals and monthly goals and weekly goals and daily activity. That leads to our daily activity. The good thing with Miriam is that we have the 10 core commitments. So we already have that daily activity that we don't necessarily have to rely on. We don't have to rely on somebody, coming up with our own plan on what to do with daily activity. We really run it back to the daily 10 core commitments, and it comes down to 2-day follow-up and everything that we know we should be doing. But if you don't have a 5-year vision statement, I encourage you to do it. Think about what you want your life to look like in the next 5 years. I recommend it have a narrative to it. You can start off by just listing. Like, for instance, mine, I'm not going to read mine, but mine is we wake up in a beach house. In my head, it's down in Costa Rica, but we wake up in a beach house. It overlooks the ocean. I roll over, kiss Amber on the cheek, roll my legs off. I already have my board shorts on. My feet hit the carpet. If you guys have ever experienced like carpet, you have cold air conditioning, and you're in a humid climate, and your feet hit the carpet, it feels wet. Like, I'm not saying I love that feeling, but I would love to have that feeling based off this 5-year vision statement. And I would love to have that feeling because in this, we took a month. For my birthday in August, we took a month-long vacation. We took a month off as a family. We could afford to do that. We were structured enough in our businesses to do that. We have enough leaders and leadership built up underneath us that we've done over the years to do that. Financially, we're in a position where we can do that, right? We're in a position where we can do that. I don't go over how much money I have in the bank. I don't go over what my organization looks like. I don't do any of that. It's just implied. And so a lot of people ask questions, well, do I need specific numbers? I think if you have a specific debt number that you want to pay off, you're like, man, if I can just pay down this $20,000 in debt, it would feel like a weight off my shoulders. Yes. If you can physically feel the stress, then you want to physically not feel the stress in your 5-year vision statement. It feels so good that I paid off my debt 3 years ago, right? I'm so grateful that I was able to. So you want to write it in present, first-person narrative about what your life looks like. And then, like, for me, it's I wake up, I grab a coffee, and then grab my surfboard and take one of our trained dogs and my dog that I have now down to the beach, and I go surfing. Well, guys, I don't know if anybody's ever looked into trained dogs, but they're expensive, and it's expensive to fly into someplace like Costa Rica. Again, we have the finances to do that. We have the flexibility to do that. And then I go surfing, and my parents end up coming down. They go fishing. So they're happy and healthy, and I think there's different ways that I can contribute to that by being a good son, and what that applies in a relationship, and then also financially, helping them out financially to be able to, for them to take off a month and come to Costa Rica with us and bring the kids down there. We have a chef that comes out and cooks us lunch as we're playing on the beach. There's just so many things that go into it, but it's implied. So I don't have our income in there. I don't have our structure in there. I don't have what Amber's marketing team looks like. I don't have what Miriam looks like corporately, but it's implied in there. So you don't necessarily have to have all of it in there. You want a one-pager. You want something that motivates you. When somebody tells me no, when somebody tells me you're still doing that Miriam thing, when I have a close friend say something like that, I just, in my head, I'm rolling out of this very warm bed to a very cold, air-conditioned room, and my feet are in that room. You can't say anything. Like, I still get chills when I think about it. You can't say anything that's going to deter me from getting that. Right? It doesn't matter what somebody else says, because that life is what I want, and that's what I'm working for on a daily basis. So, whatever that looks like for you, I was taught to do my birthday 5 years out. So you do your perfect birthday, what that looks like for you. Guys, if you put something down and you don't like it or you want to change it, change it. It's your 5-year vision statement. Don't let anybody else influence. And I'll tell you how strong this can actually be. The negativity. And we don't even know that we have the negativity. We did a team recap at conference. This is my Miriam team, right? People that I've been working with, a lot of them I've been working with for 4 and 5 years. I share my vision statement with them. And I have 2 people, including my mom, come up and say, well, August is hurricane season. I don't care. It's a dream. It's a vision statement. It's like if I walked in the room, I was like, I had the best dream last night. We had flying cars. And somebody goes, cars can't fly. Yeah, I know cars can't fly. It's a dream. Like, I get it. It's not about reality. It's not about what's possible right now. And in 5 years with global warming, who knows when hurricane season is going to be? It might be year-round. They don't know. They're not allowed to steal my dream, right? And again, this is, I'm telling you that because my mom's watching my baby right now, so I hope she doesn't hear me and get upset, but my biggest supporter, right? You're talking about my mom. Like, she's not like a mom that doesn't support me, supports me in everything I do, loves me in everything I do, cheers me on in everything I do. And I share that vision statement and be like, August is hurricane season. Like, I didn't, thanks, but it's also like, it's a dream. Don't let somebody steal that from you, right? It needs to be strong enough where somebody can't mess with it. And if somebody does, it says more, it really says more about them than you. Right? It says more about them and who they are and the way they think than it does about you. It's, don't let somebody steal that dream from you, because it's your dream. Who cares who cares what you're dreaming of? Nobody else should care but you. And if anybody doesn't support your dream, why would you don't want that person in your life? You want to call light to it. Like my mom eventually came back. She came back afterwards and apologized, but you want to call light to it. But why would who cares if it's hurricane season? It's a dream. It's a vision statement, right? The rest of my life is awesome. And I brought you guys with me. You should be a little grateful. You're telling me you don't want to come to the beach house because it's hurricane season. So with that, let me see. With the 5-year vision statement, you want that to be something that's going to really, really going to hold on to. Let me see. Having the growth attitude, I'm going to hit on that a few times. I'm going to go to some slides for you guys. And then what I'd also like to do, and Bobbie can help me read the room also if this will be appropriate. I would love to do a Q&A if it's something that you guys would want to do at the end.
Of course.
But Bobbie, I'll let you make that decision. If I'm boring everybody, doing a video, like really doing a video sometimes isn't the best.
You can't tell if anyone's boring you, so no feelings hurt.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, my feelings won't be hurt. I just don't want to waste your time.
Yeah,
Okay. So I was preparing preparing to do a Vegas recap. And what I'm going to say next, I mean this every morning I wake up and I read an affirmation. I'm here to build and lead leaders. Okay? I'm not here to coddle. I'm not here to help adults be children. I'm literally here to build and lead leaders. It's what motivates me. Some people are very good at coddle's the wrong word. It's a cynical word. Some people are very good at taking somebody that doesn't really want to do this and getting them to want to do it and then come up with a plan. Personally, I know that I'm good at taking somebody that wants to do this and running with them to help them come up with a plan to do it. Like, if you want to do it, even 0.5% of you wants to do this, I'm good at taking that 0.5% and stretching it out to 100. Right? Like let's go. Let's run. I'm not good at taking somebody that doesn't want to do it, building that 0.5, and then taking it on, if that makes sense. And so I was going over the Vegas recap, and I'm going to go over some things. Except for the people that this is your first regional and you might be brand new. Guys, if you don't know what was announced in Vegas, I'm not saying you had to be there, but if you haven't seen something or done some of the near meetings or seen some of the training by now, we have a bigger problem. Right? It's a different training because I can go through this recap word for word with you, word for word, and you'll understand it. But when you leave here, you're going to have questions. And if you're not willing to log on to a back office that was created for you to have success in your business and watch a 15-minute video that explains it again, then you're not going to know what's going on. Right? It's just the bigger problem is that you're not willing to log on to a website and do your own activity. Okay? To do your own activity. And if you guys didn't know that there was videos in the back office, that's okay too. I'm not coming down on anybody. I'd rather teach you how to fish than give you a fish. Because if you don't know about the Las Vegas promotions, if you don't know about the announcements, it's because you haven't logged on to your back office, because you haven't been on your universities, because you haven't read your email. That's something we have to start doing. That is something that if you were in any business, you would read your email that you get from the company. Right? If you were working for a company, you wouldn't dream of not reading an update email that had to do with your job. And this is something that has to do with your dreams. So it's really about accepting that. And that's why I think it's more important to have that 5-year vision statement. Because if you're not reading your emails, if you're not watching your university, if you're not in your back office looking at the videos that they've created, it's not because you don't want this. You're at a regional on a Saturday watching a video stream. You want this. I know that you want this. But you don't understand the importance of how that video is going to directly connect to your 5-year vision statement. That's where I think it's a bigger training that comes in. So I'm not going to actually recap all the announcements, because you can go and do that yourself. I'm going to hit some highlights that I think are really important. But you can go and do that yourself. And it's important that you start doing that yourself, because if you're like me at the very beginning, I would read every email. I would be on every call. I would do exactly what they told me to do to be successful. Jeff was in a place, Jeff is in a place financially where I would love to be. The freedom that he has financially is something that I would love to have someday. And the different leaders that I work with were in places that I wanted to be. They had lives that I wanted mine to look like in different areas. And I wanted to follow what they had to say. They were telling me what to do, so I would go do it. And I wasn't going to give any feedback or critique anything until I'd been doing it for a long time. Like, that was just, I'd never come into anything. Like, I'd never go play golf with Tiger Woods and be like, actually, Tiger, you should swing this way. You know what I mean? Tiger might not be the best example anymore, but yeah, I mean, he is. He's a great golfer. Like, I would never go sit down with Tiger and be like, man, this is how you swing. Like, you should actually putt from the other side, because it's going to give you, I think it'll give you a better angle, and your brain's going to see it a whole other way. Right? I mean, anybody who heard that would laugh. I mean, what do you even think Tiger Woods would do? Right? It's just crazy. And so I would never change anything like that unless I've been doing it myself. But I would take that information, and when somebody on my team that I'm supposed to be helping would ask me a question, I wouldn't point him back to the information because I knew where it was. I would answer the question for him. And that led to me being a babysitter. It led to me coddling and like really hindering people's growth. I forget what you call that. There's an actual word. It led to me actually hindering people's growth. Right? Instead of teaching them how to do it for themselves. We don't work with 3-year-olds. We work with adult people that have made the decision to get involved in a business. Nobody signed up as a brand partner because they don't want to learn. Nobody signed up as a brand partner because they don't want to grow a business. They want to know how to grow a business, and that's what we're doing here. That's why it's very important that you know what the information is so you can tell people where to go and find it. And it's not one of those things that's just, so I moved from that and then I graduated to, well, let me give you the answer and tell you where to find it. That doesn't work either. Somebody called me and asked me a question. Hey, what were the Las Vegas promotions? There's a great video in your back office. Log in. If you don't find it, give me a call and I'll help you find it. Right? What were the announcements on the corporate update call? First of all, they come out of the email also, so that means they're not reading their email. Go back and look at your email. Log into your back office and call in the corporate update replay and listen to the replay. If you have any questions after that, give me a call. Okay? I can't listen to a phone call for someone. I can't read an email for someone. I can't log into their back office and look at a video. What I can do is take that information and help them go build a very successful business and help them start moving towards their dreams. That's what I can do. So I don't focus on, so I want to gear everything I do on a daily basis towards things that I can help people with and things that I can't do. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, and again, I'm really worried about this because I have had such little sleep. If this comes across as too harsh or anything, it's not meant to be. It's literally just my tone is off because I have had such little sleep. So listen to the actual information and don't listen to the tone if I'm coming across as a jerk.
You're not coming across as a jerk at all. You're not.
Oh, good. That means I got my dad and husband voice down. My tired husband voice. With a pregnant wife, because it doesn't matter what she's gone through. It doesn't matter how much little sleep I've gotten. She's gone through worse. So, okay.
That's true.
So, let me pull up this.
She said that's true forever. Don't forget that, by the way.
Yeah. Carry a kid for 9 months and win every argument ever.
Easy now.
Now the tiredness is coming out. Okay. Hey guys, as we're going through this, I want to come back to this. Does anybody have any questions over the 5-year vision statement?
No.
Okay. If you do, also, like I said, hopefully we have time for some Q&A. Bobbie, are we okay on time?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have you booked till 2, right? Isn't that what
Oh, wow.
we're talking about? No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
That includes halftime.
Perfect. Okay. Sleep and energy choose. There's a lot of science behind these. There's a lot of information behind these. I think the biggest thing is going to be the circadian plex. The circadian plex is that main ingredient. It takes time to work. Also, with these products, it's really important that you try them. Okay? This is your business. I mean, this is, if you can imagine somebody at McDonald's that's never tried a McDonald's hamburger, like, how are you ever going to sell it? Right? How are you ever going to explain to people how delicious a McDonald's hamburger is? Right? I just think we are, and when I use the word sell, I use that because we're not a group of salespeople. We are a group of marketers. We're a group of people that believe in what we're doing. And if you're not trying these new products yourself, you're not going to have a story around it. If you don't want to use it after that, if you're like, I don't want to buy it, don't buy it. but you have to try it. You have to try it just like you're going to ask other people to try it. Because whether you like the product or not, or are interested in the product or not, other people are going to be, and they're going to be your customers, and that's what's going to help give you the freedom to achieve your 5-year vision statement. That's really what you have to build this with customers. You have to know your products. Think about just put yourself in that situation. How excited would you be to buy a product or try a product from somebody that said, I don't really take it? Like if anybody's ever bought a car, it's amazing to me. It's funny. I recently went and got a car, and then it's also something for me. It's dream building. I've never been a car guy, but I love. I don't study cars, but I love nice cars, right? I love getting into a nice car, and so it's funny when you go drive like a Mercedes or a BMW, or I got a Ford truck, and it's a nice one. So it's a Ford Raptor, and it's so unnecessary for me to have. It's like having a race car in Dallas. It's so unnecessary. It's like a Lamborghini. It's just so unnecessary, but it's so awesome, and I love it so much. But it was funny because I went and test drove a bunch of them, and every salesperson was an expert. Every salesperson was an expert on the truck. And then every salesperson asked them what they drove, and I was like, well, I drive a Honda. They don't even drive a Ford, and they're selling Ford trucks. But it's because they sell those Ford trucks, that's how they make a living. It's a good lesson. I'm not saying be a car salesman. Actually, if you think about the way they sell cars, I'm not saying be like a cheesy car salesman. If you want to be a good car salesman, the best car salesman I had, what they do is they welcome you, they make you feel loved and cared for and appreciated. They put you in the car, they let you drive it, and then they tell you the price and they try to get the deal done. That's it. Right? That's what they do. Car salesmen get a bad rap sometimes because we overuse that used car salesman thing so much. A good car salesman develops a relationship and provides a product that you want. That's what we do here. So when you have a customer, if they're interested in sleeping better, if they're interested in more energy, you have to try them. You have to try these products. Because you have to be able to share your personal story. You have to be, like for me, I used to wake up 3 or 4 times a night. I take a sleep sheet. I go to bed when I want to go to bed as an adult. And I don't mean I can go to bed whenever I want to. I mean, like if I want to go to bed at 9 o'clock, I take that sleep sheet at 8:45 and I go to bed. Right, I don't stay up watching Netflix, especially right now. I don't stay up watching Netflix. I don't stay up watching Amazon. I don't stay up on social media. I go to bed when I want to go to bed because as an adult, I know that my daughter can wake up at any time between 5:30 and 7:30. And if it's 5:30, I need to wake up at 5 so I can get some of what I want to get done so that I'm a more productive and successful human being according to the way I know myself. I have to wake up early and I have to get something done in the morning. I can't just wake up to her crying and go get her and then wait around for the day to start. Right? I can't do that. So I sleep. I take this when I want, and I sleep through the night. It's a really, really. I don't wake up. I'm really, really sensitive to any kind of like downer. Like I don't even take melatonin. For some reason, I don't know if it's a circadian plex in there, but I don't wake up with any kind of hangover. I don't wake up feeling drowsy. I pop out of bed, ready to go, and I'm actually excited to go to sleep. And also, when I wake up, I'll take an energy formula. Don't wait until 3, 4, 5 o'clock when you're usually crashing. It's not a Red Bull. It's not a 5 hour. It's not synthetic energy. It's meant to work with your body very naturally.